The Black Death killed 1 in 3 people in Europe, and it made the survivors richer. In 4 years, 30 to 50% of the population died. Tens of millions of people. And here's where the textbooks go quiet. How the worst catastrophe of the millennium raised wages and killed serfdom. By the end, you'll understand why the price of labor is really about scarcity. Our guide is an English farm laborer. He survived the plague, and suddenly, everyone needed him. The plague came from Crimea. In the autumn of 1347, Genoese ships carried it into Europe. Along with grain and silk in the holds, death was aboard. Port cities ignited first. In 4 years, Europe lost 30 to 50% of its people. So did North Africa and the Middle East. Whole villages vanished in weeks. Fields stood unharvested. There was almost no one left to work. The land remained. The people did not. And that changed everything. Before the plague, there were too many workers. The laborer was nobody. He took what he was given. Now, everything flipped. Land, as much as you want. But hands, barely any. For the first time in centuries, a worker could choose. One lord offered wages, the neighbor doubled them. In England, real wages doubled over half a century. That had never happened before. The ordinary worker suddenly ate meat and wore good cloth. Scarcity turned him into value. And if he was needed everywhere, why stay with one master? For centuries, the peasant was tied to the lord's land. This was called serfdom. Now he simply walked to where the pay was higher. And they took him, without questions. The lords were left with land no one would plow. The old order ran on cheap hands. In Western Europe, serfdom began to crumble. It was killed not by revolution, but by a shortage of people. But those at the top saw it differently and decided to force everything back. In 1351, England passed the Statute of Labourers. It forbade paying more than before the plague, and it forbade workers from changing masters. But the market was stronger than the decree. Workers were scarce, and they were paid more in secret. When the state pushed harder, the peasants revolted. The Jacquerie in France, uprisings in England. For the first time, a government tried to freeze wages, and for the first time, it lost to the market. Here, a nice myth is born, that the plague gave rise to the Renaissance and capitalism. In truth, it's more subtle. The plague did not directly give rise to anything. It did something else. Labor got expensive, and it became profitable to invest in it. Mills, presses, books. But in Eastern Europe, the opposite happened. There, peasants were tied down more tightly instead. One and the same shock, 2 different answers. That is where Europe's divergence began for centuries. Here is the lesson. The price of anything is about scarcity, not utility. Labor became expensive because it became rare. Want to know what will get more expensive tomorrow? Look for what will soon be in short supply. It works with labor and with money alike. Our laborer did not become a hero. He simply became rare. And that was enough to change his fate.